Well, good morning and welcome back to the channel. If you like what you see, please do the usual. Please like, please subscribe, please hit the little bell icon, etc, etc, etc. Leave some comments. You know the usual bump. Right, well, that's out of the way. We are today in a place called St Fillan's, which is at the kind of eastern end of Loch Earn, which is in Perthshire in Scotland. It's quite a pleasant morning. We're not going to stay here by the loch. We're going to climb up a hill just over here, which as far as I know hasn't got a name. We're not going all the way to the top. We're just going up to a viewpoint up there, and hopefully, allegedly, you get some lovely views down the loch from there. I've never been up there, so I don't know what to expect. But we'll take a walk, see where we get to. All right, we'll see you on the route. Let's go. Well, that's us arrived up at the viewpoint now. It's not quite the summit is kind of behind me here. Another, what, 50 metres or so, it's not too far away. But I don't know if there's a path up to that. But this'll do, all the same. It's a kind of artificial kind of mound thing. There's, I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone there, it's probably too far away. But behind us, or behind me, there's a what would you call it? It's like a kind of pumping station for hydroelectric, and they pump the water down. They obviously bored a hole down through the hill here and down to a hydroelectric station down there, which we passed on our way up. However, anyway, that's enough about hydroelectrics and stuff. This is Loch Earn, and so I'm going to try and get pictures from here. It's quite a pleasant day. It's not. I was hoping for sunshine, but we've not got it. But not to worry. We're looking right down the loch. So we'll try and get a couple of pictures here. We'll try and get one looking down, straight down the loch this way, down towards Loch Earn Head, which is, funnily enough, the other end of Loch Earn, at the head of Loch Earn. And then I'll try and get a pano, because I like doing my panos, as you well know. I'll try and get a pano looking right across the whole kind of length of the loch. I always feel, if you're in Scotland, the best way to take a loch, you take photos of the loch, any loch, is really to get down one end. They're always long and thin, Scottish lochs, generally the Highland lochs anyway, because these were all carved out by the Ice Age, with the glaciers coming through here and just ripping away at the rocks and digging out these huge big gaps in the ground, basically, and which is obviously over the intervening millennia has been filled with water. So anyway, that's that. Let's get set up. Enough waffling. Right, somebody water skiing down there. Huh. Well, that's me set up for the first shot of the day now, and we're looking right down the loch. You might have spotted, the more eagle-eyed amongst you, a new wee toy that I've got here, which is this thing, which is, it's a wee kind of HDMI recorder that I can plug into the camera, because normally what I do is I'll switch the movie on, and then something will pop up in the corner there with the picture on it. But I don't need to do that anymore, because it just records everything that I'm doing, and I can just go like that and the picture's up there. Isn't that good? So, and there'll be no more of this having to switch to ISO auto and forgetting to switch it off, and oh, I'm in 16:9 and this is normally a 2:3 and all that kind of palaver. You're not seeing that. Only problem I've got with it is when I plug this in to actually do the work, the screen of the camera goes blank, and the viewing thing, the eye monitor, goes blank as well, whatever you call it. What do you call the bloody eyepiece thing? You know what I mean. I never use it anyway, but you know what I mean. So I can work the controls here and look at the picture here. So it's going to be a wee bit kind of what's the word I'm after? Disorientating till I get the hang of it. But anyway, you can see from the picture I've got up in the corner there that we are looking straight down the loch here. I've got the bench here right in the foreground. I've got, can you see the rule of thirds on that? I can't actually tell if the rule of thirds is visible on that or not, but I do have it on the camera. I'll pop the red thing that I usually put up. I'll pop that up on the screen. So yeah, we're up this here in this corner of the rule of thirds. I was wondering about trying to find a decent kind of foreground and tried to get right down low with some heather and stuff like that. Couldn't do it, just could not get the right kind of angle where I got the heather in the foreground without all this other kind of clumps of just messy crap lying around. That's all it is. I mean, it's not untidy, it's not like litter, it's just bits of rock and just you know, not very nice looking. The bench, it has to be said, is covered in bird poo as well, and it's also not very nice looking, but it's all right, it's all natural. Yeah, so that's our picture. As you can see, also I've got this thing in the middle that I always talk about for making sure that everything's level, which it is level. All right, so that is that. I'm at, as you can see, f11, 1/15 of a second, ISO 100. Yeah, down there, ISO 100, f11, 1/15 of a second. Right, and that should be that. 1, 2, 3, click. So I'm all set up now for the second shot of the day, which, as I said, is going to be a pano looking right across down the loch here. So I want this bench, it's going to be over on the kind of far kind of left hand side, just so you can see the bench there looking up towards the loch and looking right down the length of it. That's the plan. Okay, now I've got, if I put that on, I have got the recorder set up here, so as you can see the picture, I'll stick it up in the corner there. All right, and you should be able to see everything that I do to set up a pano, which I've always felt kind of disappointed in when I'm saying do this, do that, do the next thing, and you can't see exactly what I'm up to. So now you can see up in that thing up in the corner there. So there we go. Right, first thing I'll do, as you can see, is that we've got it completely level here. You can see this right across the middle. Okay, so we know that the camera is level, and we can also, if I just loosen that, we can spin the camera around like that. There's the bench. Okay, we'll spin it around, spin it around, spin it around, and there's the end of the loch. So we should be able to get a lot of that just within maybe a 3x1 pano or something like that as we fly there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, if I just pause that for now, not pause it, tighten that, that's what I'm after. Okay, and I'm going to, first off, let's hit the display button, like that. Okay, I'm in manual mode, all right, and I've chosen f11, just because it's a good kind of focal length for this, aperture size for this lens. All right, so, sorry, I'm getting a bit kind of, what's the word I'm after? Not nervous, it's because I'm kind of disorientated between using these two things. All right, so, but yeah, you can see where we're at. You can see that we've got 1/25th of a second, sorry, 1/120th of a second there, and I'm at f11, which I like. Now I'm going to loosen that off, okay, and I'm going to turn the camera around to about there, and as you can see, the histogram there is moving just a wee bit. Now what I think I'll do is I shall make it, oh, press the wrong button, try that one. slightly longer exposure and move the histogram up towards the right just a wee bit to about there, say, okay? And I shall loosen it off again. Okay, so we're looking down that way and it's exposing towards the right, you can see on the histogram. Okay, and as I bring it round where it's the darker bit, oh no, gosh, that's obviously a lot brighter there than I thought it was. Okay, so what I'll do, if I just make it slightly longer exposure to about there. Okay, adjust the exposure. Oh, I'm getting sore knees. Right, adjust the exposure so that we're now at what, 1/100th of a second. Okay, so I'll loosen that again. Alright, I don't know why it thinks it's so bright across there, because I don't think it is. Right, and I'll turn the camera around. And I would say that everything looks absolutely fine now. So I'm going to switch my display back to that again. Okay, and this is back to the level thing there. Right, and we can see it's absolutely level, as I say. So I'm going to start off round about here-ish. Okay, tighten that. So we're in, did I say about manual focus? I don't know if I did. I'm going to move round. Right, I'm going to put it into manual focus. Let's keep it at that. I'll lock it at that. Switch that round. Now we're looking at the bench. Alright, so I'm going to grab a shot. Okay, and then from the rule of thirds I'll move it round. Alright, to about there. Grab another shot, and so on and so forth. I'll just move it like a third round, using the rule of thirds to measure more or less where we're beginning and ending. Well, that's that shot. I hope it looked okay, that panel. As I say, I'm finding it actually. I did practice with this in the house during the week. It's a MyPin VG0097 for the record, which cost me I think 90 quid or so off of Amazon. In case anybody's interested in that kind of thing. It's USB powered, has its own, well, it's got a SD card in it, that kind of stuff. But what I'm finding, now that I'm using it out in the field, is that the screen is very, very dark out in this kind of daylight. That's a good word for it, daylight. So yeah, I can work with it though. Couldn't see on the thing when my kind of the red, some people don't like them anyway, maybe I should try and work without them, but I really couldn't see when the red blinky things were coming on for making sure that the manual focus is all working there for the panel. But you know, early days yet. I'll just keep playing with it. This didn't work when I first got it, I found, but a few calls to MyPin, and they sent me a firmware update which made it work properly. The microphone input wasn't working, so I bought this microphone. You can see it on the top here. Because what I do when I'm making up these videos, I do all the recordings on this wee kind of handheld thing here. I hope that didn't bang. Yeah, I do all the recordings onto that, and I've got a wee kind of dictaphone thing in my pocket, a digital dictaphone, which I record onto. And then I tie up all the audio from that camera and where I've been taking the movies from that camera, tie it all up onto the actual proper audio from this thing, you see, so that you get kind of silent pictures with the audio from here. And I've now, in order to link it up with this, I had to get a microphone so I can hear exactly what I was saying and whatnot, so I can do the kind of syncing it all up. But anyway, that's that. We've seen the view, it's very pretty. Let's pack up, head down the hill again. I'm sure there's other things down the bottom that I'm going to try and get pictures of as well, so on our way. Okay. Well, here's the other advantage of having this monitor, is that I can stand up straight instead of having to crouch down. It saves my poor old knees. Anyway, yeah, so we've come back down now, as if by magic, from the top of the hill, which is kind of in behind us, up the way there somewhere. And we're back down now by the loch, and I'm going to make this, I've only taken a couple of pictures as you know, but I'm going to make this the last shot of the day. And fairly obviously, I think, because we're beside the water, we've got these rocks here, it just says, do this a long exposure. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be a long exposure. You can see, I'll put the shot up there, pointing in the right direction, I hope. You can see the shot we've got. Okay, so we've got these rocks here in the foreground, yeah, more rocks in the background, just pointing up towards there and up towards, there's a wee island up the back here, there, coordination's all rubbish with a boat. So yeah, we'll stick it on for, what, 5 seconds, something like that. Okay, so I do have my variable filter, variable ND, okay. I have tried this shot already, has to be said. So I am polarised, I'm putting on the ND filter. Okay, so we're going from, what's that saying, 1/8 of a second, something like that. Putting it on to, we're now looking at about 4 seconds. Okay, so yeah, as I say, rule of thirds. We have the horizon, we have the rocks down the other line along here. We've got this rule of thirds up and down here, and nothing happening on this one over here. Okay, so yeah, it all complies to the rule of thirds. A nice simple shot. We'll just keep it playing out for, what did I say, 4 seconds? Something like that. See if I can make it any longer. 4, I'm going the wrong way, that's making it better. Oh, 10 seconds, probably too long. 6 seconds. All right, let's put it at that. So yeah, 6 seconds, f11, ISO 100. All right, there we go. I'm all focused up, I believe. So, it should be that. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, click. Well, that's it. We'll call it a day at that. I think we've taken all the shots that we can reasonably take here. The book that was following the guidebook says something about coming down here to a war memorial. But having seen it, it's just a war memorial. It's nothing special. I'm not that interested in getting a picture of it. So we've got that nice shot out across the loch there with the rocks. I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Okay, so if you've enjoyed it, please let me know. Please say so in the comments down below. Please like, please subscribe, hit the little bell icon so that you see everything that we post. This was really a vlog just to see how well this thing worked. So I hope, let me know if you like this new kind of feature. Okay, what else have I got to say? Oh, I know, yes, the calendar. I did mention last week it was out. It's still out. Bing, there it is, all right. It's still out. Please buy a copy. I'd really appreciate if you'd spend a bit of money, £15 a pop. Spend a bit of money, helps the channel. Fantastic. Okay, link for it, by the way, in the description below. Right, and that, I think, is it. All that remains for me to say is bye for now. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.